What do you find boring? Is it school? Is it baseball? Is it news? Is it waiting in lines? Is it people who ask too many questions? Is there a person who you think can unanimously be considered boring? Somebody who everyone finds boring. The most boring person in Britain. The well-reputed news outlet, The Mirror, which has performed feats of respectable journalism through their sophisticated articles such as Hollywood dominatrix reveals she walked A-lister around room on lead attached to very naughty piercing, and young man has horrific solution for blackheads as he squeezes all of them at once. And my absolute favorite, Marnie Simpson admits she has bore holes near her vagina after ignoring doctor's advice post liposuction. Who fucking reads this shit? Oh, nobody. That's good. These intellectual journalists have termed this person, Peter Willis, as the most boring man in Britain. What has he done to deserve this title, you might be asking? Peter Willis has a mission of photographing every post box in Britain. He's already photographed 2,500 post boxes, including a red post box inside a theatre, a red post box inside a wall, a red post box inside a wall in a weird place, a green post box outside a wall that's shaped like a cylinder, a wooden post box inside a shipping company, and a metal post box inside a railway station. This highbrow article also lists 11 other men who they term the most boring men in Britain. One of them is this guy called Roland Stone, who owns 500 buses, including this double-decker bus. Another person on this list is Ken Myers, who has sent his wife the same Valentine card for 34 years. And no, this isn't a nifty trick to save money. Every time he sends her the same card on Valentine's Day, he adds a cryptic message inside of it. So now it's 3 pages full of scribbles that he's written for his wife. And he's made this card himself, so he's a Greek god in romance. Also, his wife likes it. Obviously, 34 years, goddamn. This list also includes this 73-year-old man called Michael Kennedy, who moves rocks 2 hours every day except Saturdays to build this seawall that protects these cliffs from erosion from the sea. This guy is doing more good than all of the combined goodness potential of the metric shit ton of articles that this shitty publication could ever manage to projectile vomit onto a white screen. This website has no right to call this guy or this guy or this guy boring. Your awful articles with their enormous headlines are not entertainingly competent to term anything else as not interesting. If I get a choice between reading your articles and spending time with the president of the UK Roundabout Appreciation Society, Mr. Kevin Beresford, I would choose your publication, shit on it, leave it on a 4-way intersection, high-five my best friend Kevin, watch you die, tell America that it's stupid, and look at a dope-ass roundabout. These guys are anything but boring. If you went up to a stranger and told them that you have the world's largest traffic cone collection, they'd be like, what? And they'll ask you questions. And that's a signature feature of something interesting and not boring. If you went up to a stranger and told them that you're a journalist on an insignificant tabloid on the internet, they wouldn't ask you which one because they wouldn't give a shit. This is interesting, this is boring. And okay, fine, I guess I can understand where this point of view is coming from. These guys admittedly have weird ass interests. And because you can't understand why they care so much about apostrophes or milk bottles, you term them as boring people. But that's a shitty way of approaching life. Just because something is weird, or you know what, just because something looks bad and not hugely consequential doesn't mean it can't be interesting. That's the whole concept of so bad it's good films. Films like The Room or Batman and Robin are objectively, from the point of view of production and writing and acting, incredibly shit movies. But these movies are so shit, so bad, that they become funny. They're ironically enjoyable, like this scene from The Room.
Hi.
Can I help you?
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you. Here you go.
That's me. How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The main intended source material isn't funny. The hilarity of how badly done this is makes it funny. And these kind of so bad it's good movies are better than an okay mediocre film like Ghostbusters 2016 or Batman v Superman, which is not good enough to be a good movie or bad enough to be a so bad it's good movie. It's just a meh forgettable movie. The Room might be a weird movie, but it's not a boring movie. Similarly, these people might be weird people, but they're not boring people. When you look at these people's interests, you think, why the fuck? When you look at an article from the Mirror, you don't think anything because you don't give a shit. Oh my god, why does this website make me so angry? Anyways, did you know the most boring day in 20th century was 11 April 1954. Very important fact. Write that in your general knowledge notebook. This is gonna come in handy. A real conversation starter. People are gonna ask you, what was the most boring day in 20th century? And you'll have to answer. The most boring day in 20th century was 11 days ago when I looked at the homepage of the Mirror. No, that doesn't make sense, and no, I can't let it go. Fuck this tabloid. They bestowed this title onto him without asking him, without him having any knowledge that this was happening, and he obviously wasn't happy about that. If one day you're minding your business and suddenly a shitty publication on the internet labels you as the most boring man in an entire country without asking you, without doing any communication with you, you'd be unhappy as well. I'd be fucking pissed. These people are part of a group called the Dull Men's Club, which releases a calendar called the Dull Men's Club Calendar, which displays people who have seemingly mundane hobbies and celebrates them. These guys from the Mirror picked all the 12 people in one edition of the calendar and displayed them as the most boring men in Britain, taking away the celebration, taking away the friendliness, taking away the genuineness, and going, hey, look at these fucking weirdos. Getting featured in an article is probably the most exciting moment in their lives. Losers. Look at me. I'm entertaining. I'm a genuine publication. I'm totally not a waste of internet space.